My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth.
This is the most magical podcast on earth, part of the Secret Recordings Network. Well, this is very different. So this episode of the podcast, a bit of a two-parter. We're going to do a Q&A at the end, but right now, you may notice this sounds very different. I'm actually sat right now, just outside the Contemporary Resort. In front of me here is Cinderella Castle. Yep. Cinderella Castle is right here. Don't be surprised if a monorail goes past at any time, because we're almost sitting underneath the monorail track. But I'm not on my own. Drew, who is a former guest of the podcast, you're here as well for 3 weeks.
I am. Yeah. We thought you've got
a podcast on the go now?
Yeah, well, I thought, Andy seems to have so much fun doing it. And it gives my wife a break from me nattering at her constantly about Disney World. So I was like, we'll give it a blast. Yeah, absolutely,
It's good of you to join me on this first half of the podcast. So we'll do a Q&A on the second half back in the studio. But I was going to do a trip report from this trip to Disney World. But I've been so many times. I was like, have I got a lot to say?
How many times is this for you now,
I don't even know, Drew, to be honest. Well, this year, this is my... today, by the way, when we're recording this, is the 1st of October.
Yep.
Which is the birthday of Walt Disney World.
It is.
I completely... It's such a coincidence that I walked down Main Street
But you didn't even realise?
I didn't even realise that I'd done 6 castles in 1 year.
Yeah.
And my return to Walt Disney World, walking down Magic Kingdom, my other half went, it's the birthday today, isn't it? I went,
54?
Yeah. So there I was, like, ticking off my 6th castle of the year as I walked down Main Street, where I've been so many times. But this has been such an easy journey after doing, the stress of going to China, the country, going to Japan, which is easy to get in the country, with the stress of doing the parks.
Yeah.
So going somewhere where I know really well.
Yeah.
It's been pretty straightforward. I've been resort hopping because, like you, Drew, we're both DVC members.
That's right.
So where are you staying this trip?
So we are doing our home resort for the very first time. We're at the Riviera.
Right.
Which has been wonderful. Anyone who listened to our previous episode, which I think you titled "Relentless and Exhausting," because I was doing that thing.
What your wife called it.
Yeah. That was her feedback, because
monorail going past.
That's the monorail. Beautiful. Look at that monorail, Cinderella Castle. Doesn't get any better than that.
There's a slight little bit of rain in the air, but we're going to rock it out.
Absolutely. So we signed up for the DVC, and because it wasn't trying to pack everything in with the knowledge we were coming back, I was like, we're going to be chill this time. We've had a very different kind of trip. So we've done day on, day off. We're not on International Drive this time. We're on the Skyliner route. So being able to come back to the resort, it's all been really... I've not rope dropped once, which is very unlike me.
Oh, so we're the other way around. Because when you first get here, because I was only here briefly. Yeah. And then we did a little cruise with some friends for a few days. And now I've got my big week at Disney World. So we landed, we did a couple of days at Boardwalk. But because of jet lag, my first morning is always Animal Kingdom. Yeah. Just because that's the park that opens earliest. So we tend to rope drop, do a few things, and then by midday come back. And then I've also found out with Animal Kingdom that if you go at 5 o'clock, just dead. An hour or two before the park closes, we walked on Flight Passage. Yeah. I think it said 40 minutes. So we thought, 40 minutes, we'll do it. And it was about 20. Yeah. On or off. You really I haven't bought a single lightning lane this time.
No, same.
Done every attraction. I don't know whether it's a quiet time of year to come, September, now all the schools are back.
I think tourism is down in general a little bit this year for various reasons as well.
No Canadians coming.
Yep. So I've felt that it's been quieter this time as well. I was just in Animal Kingdom and I was saying the same thing to myself on my camera, like a normal human being. But I think a lot of people either think of Animal Kingdom as a half-day park, or they'll go there first thing in the morning, then leave later on. And if you come at the very end of the day, you're walking on 80% of the stuff there, and everything else is a really short wait. I did Flight of Passage. It was listed 25, and I think I ended up doing 15 minutes wait or something like that.
At the middle of the day.
And that was, so it does feel a little quieter. Magic Kingdom felt fairly busy today, and I assume that's because people know it's the birthday, maybe?
Maybe, and also there's not a party on, as we were saying off mic.
That's true.
There are a lot of parties at the minute. On Sunday, when we got off the cruise, was a party night.
Yeah.
because I'm staying at Bay Lake Tower now, so Contemporary, where we're recording this, I can walk straight into Magic Kingdom. So let's do a couple of hours at Magic Kingdom, and it was lunchtime, and Tron again was about half an hour.
Yeah.
So we pretty much walked on Tron. Even today, we went this morning, we missed Rope Drop, because I've settled into American time now, so I'm not getting up at crazy o'clock. But we're still in the park just before 9.
Yeah.
And we thought, let's have a look what Seven Dwarfs is doing, and it was still 35 minutes.
That's
yeah. That's kind of my cut-off.
Yeah, 100%.
40 minutes. Well, it depends what the ride is. Like,
if it's a brand spanker that you've never ridden before, stick it out or buy the Lightning Lane. But yeah, I'm with you, I think. Like, if it hits that 35, 40 minute, I'm like,
Even Guardians has been, I haven't waited more than really 40 minutes for anything, and we've done everything we wanted to do. But this trip, we tried to do something new every day. So have you seen the new villain show?
No, so that is tomorrow.
Oh, you would love it. And you can see they've really spent a bit of money on it.
Yeah.
As a theatre, it's where the Cars attraction used to be.
Yeah, so opposite Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah. So you're not sitting on the metal
the benches
anymore. There's like proper theatre seats.
Lovely.
It's a great show. There's a nice new song that goes with it.
Yeah.
So that was one of the new things that I've done.
I assume you did Little Mermaid as well.
Little Mermaid. There's been a lot of negativity about that.
I thought it was charming.
I thought it was really nice. There's there we go. We really are just outside the Magic Kingdom, aren't we? There's a lot more screens, but I think the way they use them with the puppetry, I think it actually adds to it. A lot of people say it's taken away. Maybe there are less puppets in it, but I think.
But they're blending technologies, and I like when they blend technologies. I think marrying, not having all of one or all of another, you can really kind of enhance it. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah,
like,
I really enjoyed it. There's not been anything this time that I've not enjoyed. I've not yet done Beak and Barrel.
I will say, I'm not going to spoil anything about Beak and Barrel for you.
What do you think?
The tavern is wonderful, and the theming is wonderful, and it's got that very sort of Trader Sam's vibe to it, with stuff always happening. I will say, because it's brand new, they are on you to get your drinks ordered and get the heck out of there.
I've seen that. 45 minutes, you're in, you're out.
You're in 45 minutes. Someone came round, so our server came round about 25 minutes in. She went, "Do you want another drink, hun?" And I was like, "I'm still working this one. Could you ask me again in 5 minutes?" She went, "No, you can either buy a drink now because we're halfway through, or you can't order another drink." And I was like, "All right, I won't order another drink then."
Just have one.
Which was it dampened it a little bit because it felt kind of rushed. However, I think in 6 to 12 months, when it all kind of calms down and just becomes another lounge, and they relax a little bit like they have with Ogres and things.
Yeah. Because Ogres you can pretty much walk in.
You can walk into it, and again, there's the time limit and the 2 drink limit, but you don't feel super rushed when you're in there. It feels quite relaxed in there now. Beak and Barrel, and I think it's just because it's the new shiny toy. They were on it, and I get that they have to be on it because reservations went. Well, there was a whole thing with the reservations, wasn't there?
I was so lucky. I don't know how I managed to get a reservation. When I went in, I was more panicked because when my reservation opened, like every day and every time slot was down. I went, I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah.
When do I want to go? So I'm going before the Halloween party tomorrow.
Oh, that'll be good.
Geo82 at Epcot. Do you bar at the
Epcot? Haven't done that yet. I guess I could have done because I did get some time in Epcot by myself, but it just didn't occur to me because I was busy doing everything else. But that looks nice and something that we want to do at some point.
Very expensive though. I want to try the old fashioned. Is it the brown sugar old fashioned?
Yeah.
People are raving about.
This
$28.
This is my new thing. So I decided about 3 days ago. I'm not this trip, but ongoing trips. I want to try every single old fashioned in Walt Disney World. So I did the maple old fashioned at Ale and Compass when we were over there. That was really, really nice. And then I finally went to La Cava del Tequila and got Paging Mr. Morrow's peanut butter old fashioned.
I've not tried that.
It was expensive and not super boozy, which seems to be par for the course a lot of the time when you order drinks at Walt Disney World, but it was nice. It was refreshing.
Good old fashioned, just across the lake from where we're sitting, over the brand new Polynesian Tower, the Wailulu Lounge. Have you been there yet?
We walked past it when we went on a tour of the Island Tower rooms.
Okay, it's a great place to eat. AJ from Disney Food Blog's been on the podcast.
Okay.
She said best burger on property was over there, and she wasn't wrong.
Well, she'd know.
Well, you don't argue with her.
You just go, yes, AJ.
You don't agree that you are the one that's wrong. But also, the banana old fashioned. Great place to sit out there as well.
Could I drop a little bombshell on you?
Go on.
So I don't know if you remember this from our conversation before. Last time we were here, we were a vegan family.
Yes.
We are not currently a vegan family.
Veggie.
No. So the girls broke while we were here last time. They were out at a beach and they saw a chicken burger that they had to have, and they had it. And I wagged the finger, and I was very hypocritical because I made the decision while I was here that here, and probably only in America, I really wanted to experience a lot more of the dining and a lot more of the options, and so cognitive dissonance won. And our first night here, guess where we went to in Disney Springs, and guess what I had? That's
you went to chicken and donuts. Homecomin.
I had chicken and donuts at Homecomin.
Well, if you're going to break it, then what a way to break it.
So that's the first time I'd had dairy or meat in over 8 years, and
how did your body react?
It was fine.
Yeah.
I'm clearly made of quite hardy stuff because I was absolutely fine with it. I did have to be careful with some of the noises I was making whilst eating it, though, because my eyes rolled into the back of my head, and
What do you think, though? Overall, was it worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is probably still the best thing I've had on this trip. Started really, really strong. So I can see why you recommend it so highly.
You know what? And here's another bombshell. It is my favourite thing to eat on property, my favourite restaurant on property, and I've not been this trip, and I can't get in.
Seriously?
I've got like half a week left, so I'm going to try and get in. I'm over at Disney Springs on Friday.
Okay.
We're giving up some time to go watch the new Taylor Swift movie.
Yes, yeah, because that's only coming out in the States at the moment, I think.
I'm not really sure, but we signed up for it, and so we're going to do that at Disney Springs on Friday. So I'm hoping it's going to rain. I don't feel too bad.
You won't feel like you're missing out. No, so the girls are seeing it on Saturday, literally before we drive to the airport.
So we're both flying back on Saturday. So who did you fly with this trip?
So we flew with Aer Lingus this time. Last year we did BA out of Gatwick.
Okay.
And this year it came up a couple of £100 cheaper to travel to Manchester. And because we're based in Leicester, it's equidistant, effectively. It meant we could leave our car with our friends who live in Manchester and not pay for parking at the airport.
Yourself a few quid.
And they include your baggage, so like your checked baggage is all included in the price. There's no extras. They have extras and add-ons, but it's not like BA is just like nickel and diming you for everything. And so I was a bit budget airline. What's this going to be like? And it was fine. It was genuinely lovely.
Yeah.
I used my secret hack that I learned from Adam Hatton, which was buy them a little bag of celebrations for the cabin crew before you go on.
What did you get out of them?
Just really nice service. They were coming over to us with extra bottles of water, extra snacks. They moved us from a 3-row of seats to a 4-row of seats by ourselves, so we had some extra room. They did offer us, they had one seat in like their upper class, and they offered it to us, but we declined it because we just kind of wanted to sit together as a family.
There was only one of you would have gone.
Yeah, my daughter's got some additional needs, and it would have felt slightly unfair. We talked about switching, but I don't know. I don't know if on the way back we'll be quite so family oriented if it gets offered to us again.
We flew over Virgin.
Yeah.
In economy, and the premium economy was half empty.
Wow.
I was thinking, are we going to get bumped up?
You never know. No.
I did walk through there and it was still half empty, but to be honest, the economy was pretty much empty. I mean, I was on an empty row.
Oh, there you go.
So you got room enough to spread. How did you get from the airport? Did you book transfer?
So, because I'd messaged you about this, just asking what your opinion was. We ended up getting a car.
Oh, you hired a car?
We ended up hiring a car. Hiring a car for 3 weeks, I think, cost us about 450 quid with Sixt. And for 3 weeks and the freedom to kind of go.
And you can park for free because you can DVC.
Yep, absolutely. Park for free at the resorts. It means that like when we go to Magic Kingdom or Animal Kingdom, we're not waiting for buses.
I found the buses brilliant this time. All the transport has been spot on.
Yeah, I've taken buses a lot on my solo days and they've been really good. But my wife is now in a power chair just due to ongoing like disabilities and stuff. And my daughter's in an adapted stroller, so we've got a lot of kit to bring with us, and so it just makes life a little bit easier for us.
And the cars over here are a little bit bigger than we have.
They are pretty large, they are pretty large, and you can fill the tank for like 30 quid, which is.
And how long's that lasted you?
We've filled it once since we've been here.
Right.
So we'll fill it again
to get back to there.
Yeah, we'll fill it again just before we drop it off. So we'll probably spend about £30 on petrol the whole time we're here. So it's been worth it. And I'm the kind of person that like you can drop me off at the Walt Disney World sign and then pick me up when it's time to go to the airport, and I'm fine just staying on property. But the girls quite like to go out to some of the beaches and do shopping and go to the malls and get more of the American experience, I suppose. So it's been nice for them to, like today, for instance, I've come into the parks and come to see you, and they've kind of gone off doing their own thing. So that's worked out really well. But you're right about the transport. It's
really good, from monorails to boats to the Skyliner. It's all worked pretty. I got an Uber from the airport this time.
Okay.
And it was a 20-minute wait for it to come. And then when it came, he wasn't here. He cancelled on me. So I had to wait another 20 minutes.
Should have gone minivan.
Should have got. Well, yeah, if I had the price. What's that? How much?
$200.
$200 from the airport.
And Only if you're staying in a deluxe.
You have to be in a deluxe, which DVC is, so I could have done.
You could have done, but $200 is a lot of money to go from the airport to here.
It is a lot.
I did think about getting a minivan from Animal Kingdom over to Epcot, just so I'd ridden absolutely everything. But
you have to go the furthest point, don't you?
I think so, to get your money's worth.
Yeah,
basically.
Go furthest point on property.
So, but at the end of the day, I was again, the buses are so frequent and half empty most of the time. So,
and you hear a lot of kids just wanting to stay on the monorail, just ride the monorail all day or the Skyliner.
You say kids, so I had my solo day I did Magic Kingdom. I went to Epcot, and then I just stayed on and did another loop because I just like the fact that when you go into Epcot, it takes you around. You go into the park and around the first half of the park, and I thought, oh, that's lovely. I'm just going to do that again.
Yeah.
And I did, because I didn't have anyone there telling me that we have to get off. And absolutely.
Solo days are the best days. Even when you come as a family, it's quite nice. You can just have a day to yourself.
It is, and I think I've got the excuse of filming and vlogging now as well to be like, no, sorry, girls, Daddy needs to work.
So, highlight of the trip, what would you say this time?
It's a real tough call. The nighttime parade blew my mind. I really, really loved it.
I'm seeing that in a couple of hours time.
Yeah.
I've seen it once.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Beautiful, really, really touching. And then for us, it's just been little random moments of pixie dusting. So I think we were talking on messaging yesterday, and we were in Epcot, and my daughter had picked up a Lotso plush and creation shop and desperately wanted it, but we had already agreed that we were getting her a droid at Hollywood Studios, and that was a little bit more than what her spending money was, so we were going to be contributing to that. So she was already connected. So we said, sorry pal, look, you're getting this is costing even more, so we can't say yes to everything. Anyway, we were walking past guest relations, and they had a pin board, and we went over and we just got chatting to the cast member there who had one of the fancy blue badges, and this sob story came out from my daughter saying, I nearly cried, I saw this Lotso, I can't have him, but it's okay, I'm getting a droid, I'm going to pick a purple droid and I'm going to call it Lotso. And this cast member said, oh, what's your name? And went off and wrote out on a little voucher with Pinocchio's face on it and said, Mickey Mouse has said he would like you to go back and pick up the Lotso that you wanted.
Bless him.
And so we were all just tearing up, because it's just, you don't expect those moments and you don't plan those moments, and they're just lovely. So again, breaking veganism today, because I'm doing my 4 parks in one day, I want to do a ride, a snack and a photo with the icon. So I was like, I've never had a Mickey Premium bar because I wasn't eating dairy. So I came off Flight of Passage and I walked over to the ice cream stand and I said, I would like my first ever Mickey Premium bar, please. And the cast member went, you've never had one before? I said, no, I've never. She went, well, it's on the mouse then.
You're doing very well here.
Oh, we are being incredibly well looked after this holiday. Well. So just, and I don't mean that that's the highlight because we're getting something for nothing. It's just that little unexpected, just someone wanting to make your day that little bit nicer and more special, and things like that. Because you can book your reservations and you can book your rides and everything else, but things like that come out of nowhere, and they don't really tend to happen out in the real world. No. So stuff like that really, really, really makes it.
It's the magic of Disney.
What about you? What's your top moment so far?
I was asking you. Do you know what's taken me by surprise? The new test track.
Okay.
My expectations were incredibly low, but it's really blown my mind.
It's a great ride.
It's the same attraction,
but
it's completely different. They spent some big money on that.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that as a ride. There hasn't been a standout magical moment. I've not been pixie dusted.
It's because we've had it all.
You've taken it all. I'm going to tell them I've never had a premium bar before.
Apparently that's what you need to do. Oh, we got free dessert yesterday at Space 220 as well.
What?
I don't know why. The girls went off to use the restroom, and while they were gone, she walked over with the dessert and went, it's the little one's birthday, right? And I just went, yeah. And so she set it down, and the girls came back. I was like, you've got to go with this. You've got to play along. And we got free desserts as well.
That's a great moment I had in Wailulu Lounge over at Polynesian when I ordered my burger. We had a great server from Orlando. And he said to me, just to let you know, this food is way better than Wetherspoons.
Well, I should hope so.
I don't know about Wetherspoons.
Was that a flex that he knew what Wetherspoons was, do we think?
He clocked the British accent. It was
right.
A little moment like that.
Yeah, I did have the UK cast members in the pavilion yesterday morning talking about how much they miss Greggs, and I was like, it's crazy. I don't think I've ever craved a Greggs, but I guess when you want what you can't have, maybe.
Put a Greggs in the UK pavilion.
It would do well, wouldn't it?
And then the Rose and Crown, flip that into a Wetherspoons, put a Greggs, and that's the real UK pavilion.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We'll whack some St George's flags up around the place.
And, let's draw the line there. Well, it's been great having you back on the podcast.
Absolutely, man. This was an unexpected pleasure.
Good luck with your podcast. And
thank you, man.
Let us know where we find you.
Absolutely. So if you just search for Oh No Disney Adults, that's what it's been called. So the podcast's been running for a little while now. Sometimes it's just me bibbling on about what's going on in the parks, and then other times I've got people on just chatting and talking about like their history with Disney, their love of Disney, why they're a Disney adult. If you're free one time, it'd be nice to chat with you.
How about I come on?
That would be wonderful. I would love to do that. We'll figure that out when we're both back home and readjusted to the time zone.
We've got the blues.
And then, the vlog series, I've edited the first one, so that should start in a week or two, so like mid-October maybe. But Oh No Disney Adults, that's where it all is.
It's good to catch up with you in the flesh. This has probably been the best podcast I've ever recorded.
Oh, wow.
Just like, I've done
just the view alone.
Before, but like, there's another monorail coming past here.
And the rain stopped as well, so...
I was worried it was just about to start raining as we recorded this, but the monorail goes past. Cinderella Castle there.
You get
54th birthday, Walt Disney World.
Absolutely.
And Drew, have a magical day.
Thank you. You have a magical day too, bud.
You will. I know we both will.
If you would like to join me on the podcast, and we can't do it from Walt Disney World every week, which is a shame, but we can hook you up on Zoom. Drop me a message at Pod Magical on the socials. Send me a message if you just got back from Disney World, if you are just about to go to Disney World, we'll sort a time out, or if you haven't been for years, doesn't matter, don't care, want to talk to you about Disney World. Since we recorded that, by the way, the last few days of my trip, firstly, I did make it to Homecomin the day after the Halloween party, but after so much chocolate, I didn't have room for chicken and donuts, but I did have a fried chicken salad with mac and cheese, which is good. Also didn't go to Gideon's, did go to Ep21, great old-fashioned, the brown butter old-fashioned, which has got hints of chocolate. They've got Mexican chocolate bitters in there that give it a little kick. Probably the most expensive old-fashioned I've ever had. Was worth it. Didn't get a view of the fireworks. They didn't quite stay long enough, but that would have been good if I'd have done that. Also went to Beak and Barrel, had a rubbish seat stuck in the corner, a bit of a one-and-done experience. And I did have a magical moment also at Hollywood Studios. At the end of the night on Hollywood Studios, just saw Mickey and Minnie wandering around on a date night, which is incredibly cute. Pictures from that, by the way, on the socials at Pod Magical, and that is where I've been asking you over the last week to send me questions. So here we go. My trip to Disney World was the end of my year of doing every Disney park around the world. Officially now a member of the Six Castles Club, and I did them in a year when I went back to Walt Disney World. So I said, any questions about anything, ask me anything. A lot of the questions are about my favourite parks, my favourite castle, my favourite attractions, so I will get to that. Some of the other questions, let's go through some of these first. Which park gave you best value for money? I'd say the China parks. They seem to be the cheapest of all the Disney parks. So, yeah, that's an easy one. The China parks. What is your earliest Disney memory, Andy? I was about 24, 25 the first ever time I went to Disney World. I know we were on a bigger trip around Florida, and we stopped off at Orlando for like 4 or 5 days. So I didn't even do all the parks. I do remember going to Epcot. That is my first Disney memory because it was my birthday. I think it was my 25th birthday, and it was all part of the Millennium Celebration. So the Tapestry of Nations parade was gone in Epcot and the original Illumination. So that's my earliest Disney memory. Is going to Epcot for the first time. But I wasn't a kid. No, I was a kid at heart. I was 25. What is the best thing you ate at any of the Disney parks? Best parks for food? That was another one that's been asked. I'm going to say the best... I'll say resorts for food is Walt Disney World. Just because you've got the parks, you've got Disney Springs, you've got the resorts and the hotels, and I'm going to say it, yeah, Chef Art Smith's Homecomin, them chicken and donuts, still, after being to every Disney park around the world, it's still my go-to. Other things I ate, Japan gave me a few good things. The apple tea soda's a good drink in there. The alien munchie balls are quite nice. The popcorn, Japan is famous for popcorn, and it didn't disappoint. The roast beef popcorn, but also the curry popcorn. The curry popcorn was incredibly Moorish. A lot of the foods they have in the Eastern parks, very much Instagrammable, the Baymax curry and things like that. They're very good for a picture. But in terms of taste and enjoying a meal, it's still Disney World. best for food. What was the easiest Asian park to navigate? Easy one to answer. It's got to be Hong Kong, just because Hong Kong itself is so westernized, it's so British, so there's no language difficulties there. It was easy to get to the parks, transportation to the parks and from the park, and getting in the country. So without a doubt, Hong Kong was the easiest one to navigate. Didn't really encounter too many language issues, because smiling and pointing and knowing a few basics and Google Translate, which you can use in China, by the way, that does help. The only time there was a language problem, somebody's asked me this actually, did you encounter any language problems? In Japan, when we checked into the Miracosta Hotel, because of the packages we got, you had to book a number of packages, and we tried to book the same room so that we could link them together and stay in the same room, but we hadn't. We booked the same room, but one of them was a double and one of them was a twin. So they said, oh, you've got to move out, and then the day after moving to the other one, we were trying to explain, can we move that one? Can we just stay in the same room? They did their best to try and understand, but it was chaotic. That was the only time, really, that I had a problem with languages. Even when it came to ordering food in China, you do it on the app so you can see the menu in English. A lot of the menus are there on the counter at quick service, so you literally just point to what you want. So, yeah, not really. China, is it good for kids? Yes, I'm saying, yeah, let them explore the world. China is a very, very safe place once you've got in the country. That was the biggest stress, getting in, although I didn't have any problems. Do your research, know what you're doing. But yeah, China, go experience the world, see the parks. It's great. What lesser-known experiences stood out? Some of the things that you wouldn't get in the other parks. Well, I was in Tokyo for the Donald Duck parade. I'm a big fan of Donald Duck, so that was really good. I enjoyed the Baymax ride. The whole experience of that was very different, and the way that they celebrate and do things, especially the Eastern parks. A lot of it's about Duffy and friends. A lot of it is about taking photos, especially with characters. That whole experience of how they enjoy the parks in the Eastern parks is very different. So that was a bit of a standout memory. Would you call that as an experience? Yeah, maybe. Been to Disney World quite a few times. Is it worth taking a break and spending the money to go to Tokyo for a change? Again, yes. If you've been to Walt Disney World quite a few times, do the maths and go to Tokyo. Obviously, you want to explore Japan, so you want at least 5 or 6 days in Disney. Don't just go to do Disney, because that's a long way to go just to do Disney. But if you can do Disney for half the trip and then see Tokyo at least for the other half, which is what I did, definitely. If you've been to Walt Disney World a number of times, just for 1 year, walk down Main Street again for the first time. That's what I loved about it. Is Big Thunder Mountain still the best in Paris, or any of the other 5 parks took the crown? Well, Big Thunder Mountain isn't actually in all the parks. In fact, there is only one attraction that you can find in all 6 of the castle parks around the world. And that's Dumbo, yeah. Not It's a Small World, not Peter Pan. Dumbo's the only one that they've got. But in terms of Big Thunder Mountain in Paris, yes, Paris is the best one. And I would go as far as saying that Space Mountain in Paris is also the best one as well. Okay, here are the questions that most people have wanted to know. What's the best castle? What's the best castle park? What's the best park? What's the best resort? What's the best attraction? So I would say Shanghai has the best castle, just because it is the newest and it's just so big. And we had a great character meal in there for a bargain price. The castle show was incredible. The landscaping around the castle is brilliant. There's a little attraction on a boat that kind of goes under the castle. There's a whole Alice in Wonderland maze at the back of the castle. So best castle, without a doubt, is Shanghai. Maybe Hong Kong could be runner-up, because that's just been renovated. They just rebuilt their castle. So, yeah. What is the best castle park? Best castle park I would give to California. I've got to say the original Disneyland, just because it's got the history. You can't really take that crown, can you, as the best castle park? It has to be. The best park in general. Somebody says, Tokyo Disney Sea, they say, is the world's best theme park. Is it? Somebody else says, have you been to Epic Universe? Was that better than any of the Disney parks? All right, quickly. Yes, I have been to Epic. Universal's Epic Universe. I did go. I've got a lot to say. And I'll say it on the next podcast, because I don't agree with what a lot of people are saying about it being incredible. I'll leave you with that. But let's go back to the Disney parks. Tokyo Disney Sea, I would say, is the greatest Disney park. I know it's not a castle park, but in terms of the theming and the lands and the fact that it is set on sea, and there's a huge Mediterranean lake, and you can go on a gondola around Paris, and you can explore the American waterfront and Cape Cod, and then there's a futuristic park, and then there's the whole new beautiful Fantasy Springs with incredible attractions, and then you've got Soarin' that is incredibly designed. No corners are cut, no money was not spent on these attractions. You've got Tower of Terror down there as well. Journey to the Centre of the Earth. So many great attractions. Big Band Beat, the show. I know it's going. But yet you could spend days and days even just exploring that park without going on any attractions. Tokyo Disney Sea, I would say. After a lot of thought, and it's only now looking back, because I thought, oh, maybe Animal Kingdom could be the best park just because of the theming. And maybe in a few years' time, Animal Kingdom could take the crown. But at the minute, it has to be Tokyo Disney Sea as the best Disney park. The original, Disneyland, best castle park. Tokyo Disney Sea, best park. Best resort in whole has to be Walt Disney World. Scott, I mean, there's 4 theme parks, there's 2 water parks, there's Disney Springs, there's all the hotels and resorts, the best food, the most attractions. It's the most visited theme park in the world, Magic Kingdom. So in terms of resort, still has to be Walt Disney World. What's the best attraction, or can you rank them? Okay, I'm going to give my top 5 attractions in all the parks. Frozen at Fantasy Springs in Disney Sea, I think, is the best attraction. It's not a thrill ride, but it is just so detailed and so long and so immersive, and the queue to get in is just incredible. You're walking through Arendelle and you're walking through the castle. You're walking through every room. You look up, you look down, every corner of the queue and every part of that attraction. There is something to see, no matter how many times you ride it. I think it's the one attraction out of all of them that took my breath away. The one that I go, I have to do that again. Frozen in Fantasy Springs takes the top. Followed by, I'm just going to make up the top 5 in no particular order. Guardians of the Galaxy at Epcot. Still love. I can still ride that time and time again. The Cars ride in California, I think, is great. In fact, the whole Cars land in California is great. Mystic Manor in Hong Kong. Again, that's an original IP, which is their version of Haunted Mansion, but it's nothing like Haunted Mansion. It's their own story with a little cheeky monkey called Albert, and it was one of the first trackless attractions. So I really love Mystic Manor for that. And the Pirates of the Caribbean in Shanghai. I think that would have to be my top 5 as well, because that is nothing like any of the Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not like any water ride you've been on before. It's not like any boat ride. The boat moves, the boat turns, you go underwater. Yes, it uses screens, but it's all incorporated with everything. So I think they would be my top 5 attractions. I don't think I can rank the top 5 parks. Yeah, no, I can't. I can't do it. No, I can't do it. One of the questions, just to wrap this up, if you could take one thing from all of the 6 Disney parks that you've been to, okay, let's say all of the 6 Disney resorts, to make the ideal Disney park, what would it be? Now, I thought about this, and I thought at first you meant like taking an attraction from each of the ones. But I'm not going to look at it that way, because I've just given you the top 5 attractions. Let me take one thing from each of the 6 Disney Castle resorts around the world that I would like to take to make the perfect park. From Paris, I would take the location. I mean, you can't not knock the location of Paris. It's the nearest one. It's on our doorstep. So Paris has to win on location. And the fact that you can have a champagne on Main Street. So we'll have that one. From California, I've got to take the history and tradition. That's Walt's Park. It's the park that he built. It's the only one that he was there for opening. So it's got to be Walt's Park. California's got to be the history and tradition. I'll take that. From Walt Disney World, I'm just going to take the sheer size of it. The fact that you've got, as I've mentioned, all the parks and the food and everything. I'm going to take everything from Walt Disney World. I'm going to take the quietness of Hong Kong, because it was never busy. It only opened at 10, half 10, and if you're queuing for 20 minutes, and that was busy. So I'd like to take that part, and the fact you don't need to worry about fast passes and lightning lanes. The quietness and easiness of Hong Kong I'm going to take from there. I'm going to take from China the expenditure, the money they spent on those China parks, being the newest. I've got to take that. And for Japan as well, because they spent a lot of money in those. But from Japan, the one thing I'd take, and I think this is the most important one, and I think this is the one that would really make any park shine. From Tokyo, I am taking the politeness and awareness of the Japanese guests. That makes such a difference. The fact that if I'm aware of your happiness, then my happiness will benefit as well. The best way to prove this, you go and see a show in Tokyo, everybody takes their ears off. Last week in Walt Disney World, I went to see PhilharMagic and the woman in front of me had her ears on. Didn't even think about anybody behind her. And I thought, shall I tap her on the shoulder and ask because I can't see half the screen? I thought, no, because she might take it the wrong way. So for my happiness and her happiness, I'll just keep quiet. And then in the American Adventure, there was somebody filming the entire thing. You know, the people who like to vlog on YouTube, but they just film their entire day on YouTube for like 8 hours. And the screen was on, lighting up his face. And it was such a distraction. But just have an awareness for other people. And that goes for me as well. I've got to remember that if I'm in a queue for a ride or I'm on a ride, keep quiet. Don't ruin it for everybody. Just because I've been on a ride dozens of times, it's always going to be somebody's first time. So that awareness and politeness of the Japanese, if we could spread that across every Disney park around the world, we would have the perfect park. Don't forget, everything that I've done this year is on the socials, on TikTok, and you can listen to the podcast now on YouTube. If you could subscribe, we've got a brand new podcast in a couple of weeks' time. We're back to Walt Disney World with our guest who's just come back. So subscribe to the podcast, follow us on the socials. Back with a new episode in 2 weeks. And until then, please stand clear of the doors.